Alright, so we're going to take a look at investigation 3.2 and what do you expect? The old book. I think it's like 4.3 or so 4.2 in the new book. So let's take a look at just question A in this video. Suppose Nishi has scored 60% free throws and she's in a one-on-one situation 100 times during the season. I'm just going to read the questions. How many times can she expect to score 0 points, 1 point, 2 point? And finally, what is the total number of points and what is the average number of points, which is called the expected value. Now, I realize that we did this yesterday, but let's go through this one more time because you're going to be asked to do the same thing for several more shooters. And so let's just make sure we're all on the same page. So okay, we're not there yet. That's for the other shooters. So we're going to take a look at an area model. I'm going to draw a crude one here. So I'm going to call this first shot, and this is second shot. And now remember, she is a 60% free throw shooter. So on her first shot, we can expect 60% of the time that she will hit the shot. And so that's going to be right here on the 6th line, which means 40% she's going to miss. I'm drawing on her shoe. Well, if she makes her first shot, she gets a second shot, which means 60% of the time she is going to make the second shot, and 40% she's going to miss. So this will be hit, and this will be miss. And now we need to figure out the probability of each of these things happening. Well, we know that this is 6 squares by 6 squares, which means this is 36 squares out of 100, which is 36%. And the outcome of hitting both shots is you're going to have 2 points. If I hit the first one and miss the second, I end up with a rectangle that's 6 by 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 out of 100 is 24%. And if I hit the first and miss the second, that means I'm going to get 1 point. Finally, if I miss the first, I don't get a second shot, which means that I have a rectangle that is 10 by 4 to make 40%. And this will be 0 points. Sorry. So, when we're asked to figure out how many times you'd expect to score 0 points, well, we're going to go ahead and use this. So I'm going to pull this thing out now, and I'm going to be filling it in for that 60%. So, how for a 60% shooter, how many points would she get for 0 points, right? Well, 0, because 0 times 40 is 0. So I put 0 here. For how many points she'll make in the 1 point situation, we have 1 point 42% of the time. So 1 times, sorry, oh my goodness, dyslexic moment. 24. So 1 times 24 is equal to 24. And then for 2 points, 36% of the time we get 2 points. So that is the 2 points times 36% of the time, and I get 72 points. So the expected value, or average, I'm going to have the sum of these 3 lines. Now clearly this line will always be 0 because you get 0 points here, right? So 24 plus 72 is 96 out of 100 times, and this will always be out of 100 times, is equal to 0.96. And so that would be Nishi's expected value every time she has a 1-and-1 free throw situation, just under 1 point per trip, or per occurrence.